Hey everyone, we're here with an impromptu WrestleVerse video special! Yay! Meanwhile, I'm the jaded guy that wants to sell out, get out of here because, yeah, so if you're seeing the image and those who haven't known yet, I'm not kidding. Paul Wight, aka The Big Show, has officially signed a deal with All Elite Wrestling. Big Show, Paul Wight is All Elite. And let's go over the details about this. So I'm going to read the press release that came out. I am on their press release on one of my email accounts. So that's pretty cool. They sent me the PDF and I can read it out to you. February 24th, 2021, Paul Wight joins commentary for new YouTube extension AEW Dark Elevation. As 2021 shapes out to be the year for AEW's biggest shows yet, well, Kenta kicked open the forbidden door, so I say that's a success. Today, the promotion announced that wrestling legend Paul Wight has signed a long-term deal, adding yet another universally regarded name into the AEW's roster of stars and legends and upcoming talent. He will have an extensive role within AEW, and on top of his return to the ring, he will serve as commentator for the next show, AEW Dark Elevation. Complementing AEW Dark on Tuesdays, AEW Dark Elevation will air on Mondays at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on AEW's YouTube channel and will showcase AEW's established and rising stars as well as top independent wrestlers within the industry, competing against each other in the ring in the pursuit of wins. AEW Dark Elevation will also maintain continuity with AEW Dynamite, Dark, pay-per-view shows, and streaming events with win losses factoring into each wrestler's ranking in the company. Yes! Continuity! Yay! Logic! With the new wrestling programming now available 3 nights per week, AEW continues to solidify its position as the fastest growing and hottest promotion in professional wrestling. Well, it's kind of true, in my opinion. They are basically trying to reestablish the shared wrestling universe that Vince killed in the 80s, and then killed again in the 2000s when he killed WCW. So Paul Wight was commented saying, it's been amazing to watch what AEW has built in just a couple of years. AEW Dark is an incredible platform to hone the skills of up-and-coming talent, but I also love that established AEW talent can build out their personalities and showcase themselves in new ways on Dark. It's no exaggeration when I say that AEW is boundless. Paul Wight is one of the most recognizable and impressive professional athletes in the world, Tony Khan, CEO and general manager and head of creative AEW. He wanted to come to AEW because he believes that we're the best promotion in wrestling, and we believe he has a lot to offer for us, both in the ring as a wrestler and outside the ring as a commentator, host, and ambassador. Paul Wight is one of the most experienced stars in all of wrestling. He's eager to work with our diverse roster. He can guide our young talent with his mentorship and his expert commentary. Here on AEW Dark Elevation will educate and entertain our fans, and also educate younger wrestlers on the roster. Furthermore, Paul enters AEW as a licensed wrestler, and he's very much looking forward to studying our talent firsthand from a commentary desk in preparation for his return to his ring. So there are going to be more additional details surrounding his signing in the new AEW Dark show and the identity of Wight's commentary partner. So, yeah, this is kind of a big deal for many people because you don't get that much stuff nowadays regarding the whole AEW with a big WWE name since, especially one who's been in the WWE for over 22 years. I'm just going to go over there now. Like Sting, yeah, but he wasn't really treated as a big star like he could have been, and they had him lose to Triple H, and we got to enforce our policy of WCW sucks. And yeah. So the fact that they managed to get him, like there were reports that came out that said that apparently WWE and his deal with them ended about 2 months ago, and they couldn't come to a financial agreement. So Big Show chose, I'll just go over here now. And yeah, let's talk about one thing about I really hated seeing the IWC community just lost it. Like, a lot of people were shocked and surprised. I was happy about Paul Wight signing because, well, yeah, he's gonna be on commentary. He's gonna wrestle down the road. I kept saying, like, he provides the most powerful gift in all of professional wrestling. knowledge. Because there is a ton of talent. Like, I could see guys like Luchasaurus benefiting off of what knowledge Big Show has in him, especially since he's been in this industry for a long time. And yeah, this is the first time in over that said 22 years that we see Big Show return to TNT, which is kind of awesome. But yeah, he wants to end his career. Hopefully, he probably is going to end his career here. So I'm pretty sure Vince is like, how many more must betray me? Even though he kind of caused this whole announcement. Yeah. But anyways, so I am all for Big Show being there, and yeah, what do I want to see him wrestle? Part of me doesn't, but I have been defending the whole idea of him wrestling because people are going, because I've seen the tribalists of WWE, and apparently one's trying to claim to be a spokesperson for the AEW roster, even though he doesn't speak for me and I have never spoken to him. So yeah, yeah, if he wants to believe that, okay. But yeah, the WWE tribalists are basically taking shots and saying AEW wants to be WCW, AEW is not being an alternative, and I'm like, okay. So this was the thing that bugged me to no end. I kept saying that knowledge of wrestling is especially in wrestling is a valuable commodity. Do I see Big Show eventually wrestling? Yes. Do I see him winning the world title or hogging the spotlight to the extreme? No, I do not. And then people kept coming after me a little bit, and I didn't really care. I was just trying to point out why I am not really having an issue with this. But I kept seeing tweets that were very attacking the AEW fans, saying that they were praising this 100% and whatnot. And this is what one tweet wrote. I redacted the name just, because I don't want people to get harassed. But if they know who this person is, they know who the person is. They're saying, one person saying this, I can't believe the AEW sexuals, the same ones who would be crying if Big Show would be wrestling on Raw, now saying this is a huge loss for WWE and a huge get for AEW. Okay, here's the thing, and this is partially, in my opinion, WWE's fault. WWE has been around for 50 years. They've been the monopoly of wrestling for the last 20 years. So when someone comes in and says, hey, I'm an alternative, they kind of have this ingrained philosophy. I think they have an ingrained philosophy of how how wrestling is supposed to work as opposed to how wrestling is really supposed to work. Whereas I see wrestling being this, it can be a diverse, multi-threaded companies and multi-threaded promotions all could work together in harmony and peace, but that's a perfect world we're living in, but that's not it. Whereas WWE is all about, hey, let's monopolize the hell out of everything. Let's take control of it. Let's rip it out. And when they bring in veterans from past promotions, or when they bring in veterans from their own, from the bygone era, and saying, see, this is what you wanted, right? You want the Attitude Era back? And here's the thing. I have no problem with veterans coming in and wrestling. I mean, like, I'll be concerned for their health, especially when you have guys like Ric Flair, who's been on death's door several times, coming in and during the peak of COVID, especially with how WWE handles COVID. This is what I said. I said this. I said that Big Show, Paul Wight, since he can't beat Big Show, he could probably call himself the Giant again. But I was like, okay, look, you have, like, so a company that wants to hire a person who just happens to work for WWE is suddenly WWE Light. It's basically WCW, where they bought out these wrestlers. Okay, so what about all the New Japan guys? What about all the ROH guys? What about all the Stardom wrestlers? What about all the other Joshi wrestling promotions? What about all the British promotions they shut down? Do they not count? Or does this contradict the philosophy that, oh, AEW is trying to be WWE? And I'm thinking to myself, oh, so it's someone who has a lot of knowledge in their head, who wants to mentor young wrestlers and teach them the ways of wrestling more than from their experiences, instead of just, winging it. that's a problem now. They would rather have just everyone just bounce around and try and figure out how to learn how to wrestle from the get-go, or do they have, or are they not supposed to learn knowledge and get that, soak in that information that past veterans have learned as a sponge? And the idea of the veterans coming in and they're just going to take the spotlight, they're going to steal it, and it's like, that's kind of WWE's fault, because let's be real, WWE perpetuated this nonsense with the Brock Lesnar's, with the Rocks, with like Brock Lesnar coming in and having big time matches, and while those big time matches weren't a problem, him suddenly getting main event property where he could just, hey, I'm going to come in, I'm going to take your title, and I'm going to be gone for like 6 months. Like his WWE title run, the first time it happened when he was part-timing, that was alright. I got what WWE was trying to go for the olden days, but realizing that, oh wait, that doesn't work because this is the era of constant content, not the days where you could be patient on that kind of constant content. But then WWE did it again and again, to the point that people were sick of Brock Lesnar being the part-timer and feeling like he didn't actually care. Especially he didn't help when stories came out about how Brock Lesnar would like, I don't want to work with this guy, but if I have to work with him, I'm not really going to put in my effort, even though fans paid a ticket to see me put in effort. Which is why Braun Strowman's match with him was a complete disaster. And yeah, do I want to see Paul Wight, Big Show, go ahead and become AEW World Champion? No, that's just stupid. I'll call him out for it if they did that. But just like Sting, he's entering this mentorship role, and as much as I was against the idea of having Sting going ahead and taking a bump until we got confirmation from doctors, he took a bump for Brian Cage. He's being a mentor for Darby Allin. Why is that now a problem now? Because, oh, well, they're contradicting everything that I was ingrained with. And, like, here's the thing. I have that ingrained mentality where, oh, WWE set the standards of what should be done in wrestling, not anyone else. And whatnot. Except I was young and naive. I didn't know much of these wrestling promotions. Other than that, all of them went out of business. Like, WCW and ECW. I only knew what WWE would show me, and looking back on it now, I acknowledge that, but now I'm older and I'm more aware of everything, but it seems like some people don't want to admit that, oh, maybe WWE's style was because it's not as good as it used to be. It's just, I'm not saying AEW is this perfect, pristine company. It's just not on the same degraded morality that WWE nowadays is, in my humble opinion. But yeah, it's just so weird that people who became jaded with WWE want an alternative. AEW is starting to give that alternative, and yeah, they've had several bumps in the road, and their pristine image was destroyed, in my humble opinion, when the botch incident with Matt Hardy happened with Sammy Guevara at All Out, because wow, you had a streak going AEW and you wrecked it. And yeah, do I think the AEW is going to improve on that? Hopefully. Do I hope they improve on it? Yes. Do I hope the women get their opportunities more? Yes. Do I think that Paul Wight is going to be a great benefit for the young talent? Yes. Do I want to see the women be destroyed? No. Do I want to see Paul Wight go ahead and basically be used as a way to put himself over? Oh no, because we already have Goldberg doing that for WWE, especially I'm still not apologizing for the Fiend incident, especially for the reason why he had to go over the Fiend. But yeah, and last but not least, the idea of AEW Dark Elevation, I kept hearing some people calling it Dark Revelation, which I was like, I don't think that was called that, but okay. Where they're trying to go ahead and call out saying AEW is trying to be edgy. But like, God, they could have called it AEW After Dark and AEW Dark, but yeah. But now it's like, well, you got 3 wrestling programs, you got the Road 2s, you got the Countdowns, you got AEW Dynamite. Okay, so let's take a look at this. AEW Dynamite, AEW Dark, Road 2s, Countdown, Being the Elite, and now AEW Dark Elevation. And please, bear in mind, they were told they're going to get a second TNT show. So, yeah, there's going to be like, what, 6 shows produced by AEW, and all of it has a continuity, and they're expecting, hopefully, letting you catch on to all this, and the recapping shows to help explain it for those who don't know, instead of, not doing the WWE style, where they just explain everything on TV instead of actually showing what happened, because they think you're just that stupid. Now, granted, it gets kind of overbearing that that in order to understand what's going on over here, you gotta watch what's going on over here. And that's the burden of a shared universe. If Batman says, "Do you remember that time with Superman when they had to save my life?" Wait, when did that happen? That never happened in the Bat book. What? It happened in Action Comics? Why is he on there? I didn't know that. Yeah. That's kind of the bane of a shared continuity, and especially in a wrestling shared universe. Oh, man. But yeah, I just wanted to talk about this, and I'll just point this out in my humble opinion. I genuinely think wrestling tribalism has killed a lot of things for fans of the olden era. So, yeah. So, yeah, that's just my 2 cents on Paul Wight signing and a lot of the contention that's going on Twitter and everything. So, yeah. So, this was Neo Reality Entertainment presenting the WrestleVerse. Paul Wight is All Elite. Feel free to like, comment, subscribe, check out my other content in the description below. If you enjoyed, I hope you all enjoyed my latest impromptu video. Stay tuned for more. I'll see you all next time. Peace and take care.